what is agent in ODI and what are the types of agents in ODI.
Okay.
If you're talking about in topology, physical architecture, we can find one more object called agent. One more object called agent. So what is exactly agent? What is exactly agent in ODI? In Oracle Data Integrator, whenever you're processing your data from source to target, you can find your source servers as well as target servers. You can find your source servers and target servers. That may be any technology. So that the program is execution is happening at client side. That is your ODI Studio is your client. ODI Studio is your client. So all this client to servers interaction. Your studio is your client and your servers, the target and source servers is different servers. So that is all connections happening from your client to servers interaction. Client to servers interaction is take caring about your agent. Agent is a runtime component. Agent is a runtime component. Whenever you are running a program, at client side, this agent will take care about your transferring a source code from your client to servers. Servers means that it may be source server, that it may be target server. So that is agent job. Agent is a runtime component. An agent is a runtime component. Whenever we are running a program, at client side, that is ODI Studio. This agent will come into the picture. And it will transfer all your source code from client to servers. And after finishing program, it will close the session. So agent main job is it's like pinging the servers if servers is working or not, like the servers available or not. If servers are available, it will transfer the source code. Source code means whatever you are going to run a program. Then after that, after finishing your program, it will close the session. That is, agent will start a new session with assigning new session ID, and it will track all information at a server level. How many rows are selected, inserted, updated, deleted, or error, and how much time it took for entire process. Then it will close the session. After finishing your program. With the status as success. So this all information agent will store into your work repository. this all information agent will store into work repository tables, this SNP tables, and we can find all this session log in operator. This is your complete agent job. Agent is a runtime component. Whenever you are running a program, that agent will come into the picture, and it will take a source code from your client, that is your ODI Studio, or maybe you are going for any other client like ODI console. Then it will transfer your source code to your particular servers. It may be source server, it may be target server. It will validate, like it will ping that server if it is up or not. If it is up, it will run the program. Then that agent will consider how that code is execution happening, like how many records are selected, how many records are deleted, how many records are processed, error. Then after you are finishing your program, it will close the session. Like if it is success, it will share the status as success. If it is failed, sometimes the program will fail. It may be with some other reason. So the agent will track all this information, status information. Like if it is success, it will give a success. This whole information will store into your repository table, so that is SNP table. The same log we can monitor in operator component. We can monitor in operator component. There you can see session list. If you go for today's list, you can see today's list. Yesterday's list, you can see yesterday's list. This week. So currently, we are not executed any session or any program, that's why you can see it is empty. Okay. So this is agent main job. Then what are the types of agent? What are the types of agents in ODI? There are two types of agents in 11G. There are two types of agents in ODI 11G and three types of agents in ODI 12C. First 11G. One is standalone agent. Second one is Java agent. Java EE agent. So standalone agent means if you are going for standalone installation without middleware, that time you will get standalone agent. If you are going for middleware installation, that is using WebSphere or WebLogic server, that time you will get Java EE agent. So this is the two types of agents in 11G, up to 11G. Then 12C, if you are going for 12C, you will get one more agent, that is standalone collocated agent. So in 12C is different because everything is working on WebLogic server. So if you are going for standalone also, it will work on like WebLogic server, but not complete WebLogic server features. So inside WebLogic server, again it will work as a standalone, but you need a domain in 12C. But in 11G, if you are going for standalone, so you don't need a WebLogic server completely. So it is working on completely within ODI server level. So what is the difference if you are going for standalone, if you are going for JDW? Standalone means it will work on only ODI level. JDW means it will work on completely middleware level. Middleware means your WebLogic server level. So whatever middleware features is available, that features this agent can utilize. Like load balancing feature, high availability. This is middleware features, right? The same feature will applicable this agent. So that is the two types of agents in ODI. Then how to configure agent in topology as well as server level. So this is the two types of agents in 11g. How to configure? How to standalone agent in ODI. Standalone agent configuration. Step 1. Create standalone agent in ODI Studio. ODI Studio topology, physical architecture. Okay. Then go to your topology. Go to your topology. There you can find agents. There you can find agents. So here you can create. Right click, new agent. Here you can create. Right click, new agent. Here you can find. Right click, new agent. New agent. So agent, standalone agent default port number. Once we install, so that default port number you will get 20910, or whatever you have provided at the time of installation, that you need to provide. Whatever you have provided at the time of installation. Then host, whatever you have a host where you install your server, that host should be there. For me it's local host. Then name, agent name, whatever you are provided at the time of creation, so installation, agent, standalone agent and port number, that details we need to provide. Agent name, then protocol, it is a standard protocol, we are using HTTP. If you are going for HTTPS, that is secure protocol, you need to provide HTTPS. Then, so this is the basic details. Then agent name, have created Oracle DI agent. So this is the agent name have provided at the time of installation, and the port number also have provided default, that is 20910. Then here one more, here you can see agent number of sessions. That is, if you are going to create one agent, that agent maximum session can allow 1000 sessions at a time. Okay, so that is condition we can see here. Save this agent. Test. If you click on test, it will fail because there are some more steps we need to configure this agent. At server level we need to configure. Okay. Then step 2. Applying changes in ODI params dot batch file in Windows, sh file in Unix or Linux. Okay. Go to ODI home, agent, bin directory, edit, ODI parent dot batch file. Okay. So go to your ODI home, I think this is Chelsea. So this is my install. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my ODI home. This is my ODI home. Then go to agent, then bin folder. Then I can find ODI params batch file. Here you can see, you can find ODI params batch file. If it is Windows, we can go for batch file. If it is Unix or Linux, you can go for SF file. Edit this and apply the changes. Okay. Right click, edit this, done. Okay. Step 3, applying changes for master repository details, supervisor details, and work repository name. So go to this file, there you can find master repository connection information. There you can find master repository connection information. So you need to provide your master repository database details, where you have created master repository, then supervisor, username and password, then your work repository name, So this is three details we need to change. One is your where you have created master repository database driver, database username, password should be encoded. Your supervisor user, that password should be encoded. Your work repository name you need to provide. So this is the three details we need to change. So if you go to your ODI Studio repository connection information, you can find this is your database username, database password, URL, and work repository name. Work repository is work REP45, and the supervisor user password is welcome. But the password we need to provide as a encoded password. How to encode a password? In client side, ODI providing encode utility for encoding a password. Open command prompt. Then change directory to open command prompt, change directory to your bin folder, that is agent bin folder. So you have a encode utility. You can find here that is a encode utility. You can find it. So you can use this and you can encode a password. Encode utility. Then type encode your password. Type encode and your password. I'm using my password is welcome and enter and click on enter. It will give a your welcome password for encoded keyword. So this is your encoded. So right click on the mark, select and copy. Okay, then apply here. So here my user is R master. My user is R master. You can see. So and my supervisor password is welcome. My R master password is R master only. So here supervisor password is welcome, but here is R master because my user is R master. That password also R master.
Okay.
Encode, copy, right click, mark, and copy this one. This is my R master password. This is my supervisor password. Then work repository name, work REP 45. Here you can find work REP 45. Work REP 45. So this is the three details we need to change. One is master repository database information, where you have created a master repository. Supervisor credentials, that is your password, should be encoded. Another one is work repository name. Save this one and close this. Save this one and close this. After above changes, save the file and close. Then step 4. Starting agent. Starting agent using commands. So through command line we can start. Okay, through command line you can start. That is agent space option name equal to your agent name. Agent name. Then port number equal to your port number. That's it. Go to your bin folder. Go to your bin folder and use this command to start a agent. Use this command to start a agent. You should be in agent bin folder. You should be in agent bin folder. That is your directory. Then agent then port number, click on enter. Now it is starting agent. Now it is starting agent and it will configure your agent. Now it will configure your agent and it will deploy all the jar files. See, it is saying that this is your ODI version, that is agent version. And this is your port number. Here you can see agent started. Scheduler started for work repository name. See here your work repository name agent, work repository 45. This is your agent name. Once you will get this message, that is scheduler started for work repository, that is your work repository name and agent name. Now agent is started successfully. Now agent started successfully. Go to your topology, the agent, click on test agent. Click on test agent. Now it is saying that successful. See. Okay. Let us start agent using this command, start agent. This is the command. You can start agent. Okay. This is. Now you will get a message. Scheduler started for work repository, your work repository name and the agent name. That is, your agent is started. You are getting that message means your agent is started. You can test in your topology, in your agents, you can test that. So agent is working fine. So once you are created a physical agent, you need to create a logical agent, because designer, if you want to use this, you can use only logical. Same thing for technologies. Then standalone logical agent. Select your physical agent. Okay. So this is where we can go for creating physical agent. So you need to remember only host, your port number and your agent name, then your protocol. It is a standard protocol, or if you are going for secure protocol. Secure protocol means HTTPS. Normal default is HTTP. Then web application default, you can say Oracle DI agent. So this is the basic configuration for agent. That is standalone agent configuration. This is standalone agent configuration. You can start one more method, that is directly there is a one batch file. There is a one batch file. You can click on this and it will start a agent. You can click on this, it will start a agent. Agent is a batch file. So that will call, because we already started here. Okay. So using this batch file, you can start this agent. This is the two methods you can use to start a agent. There is some other utilities like agent stop. Okay, agent stop. Here you can see, you can stop agent. Simply type agent stop, your agent name and the port number. Okay. Some other commands we can see: stop session, stop load plan, start scenarios. This will be, I will explain later once we start with the development. There you can find all this scenario sessions, everything. Up to now, we should remember that is ODI params, and the agent. Okay, and encode. Encode is for only for encoding your password. It is a utility they are providing. So this is the three things for agent related. Now my agent is working. So that's it. Okay. So this is agent configuration details. This is agent configuration